guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Petra, and today I am going to finally be doing another blast from the past palette eye look. And today I'm going to be using the Tartelette palette. Do you guys remember the Tartelette one? This isn't even the Tartelette in Bloom. I feel like you hear a lot about the Tartelette in Bloom palette, but this one, you guys remember this? This was like all cool tones. I utilized a lot of these and then the middle shades a lot. I don't know, I always feel like browns are kind of boring, but I loved the cool tones down here. I thought that they were really nice. This palette is probably my most used palette that I do have. And it was before I got more and more into YouTube and doing makeup and buying more makeup. So this was probably one of my first like higher end palettes that I bought before I was doing YouTube, and I really, enjoyed it. It was nice. I felt like for me, the shadows blended really well. A lot of people had said they didn't really like it. So that's what I'm gonna do. This is the look that I'm gonna create. So if you guys wanna see, I am gonna finally quit blabbing and let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so I've zoomed you guys in, and I think I am going to go in as a, let's see, it's going to be hard because I want to kind of use as many of these as I can. I think I'm going to stick with a more cool, well, this palette is more cool tone, but I think I'm going to go in with the transition combining Wanderer right here and then Power Player. I've loved these shades. When I use this palette a lot, I always use these shades down here because I really loved that like light gray cool tone. So go in with those two on this Sigma E40 brush, and I'm just blending that into the crease and above to give the illusion that I have a lot, like an actual crease, since my crease kind of goes in. I think to add a little bit more color into this look, I'm going to go in with Best Friend and maybe a little bit of Bombshell. So this is Best Friend, the purple, and then this is the deeper purple shade, and that one is called Bombshell. So I'm going to take Best Friend first, and this is on my Sephora Pro Tapered Crease, my Sephora Pro Tapered Crease brush, and that is it's number 19. Yeah, so it just kind of adds a little bit more purpley into the look, which I don't know if it's showing up on camera very much, but I'm gonna layer it a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm gonna go into Bombshell, the darker purple shade, and I'm just gonna put that in the corner to deepen up. I always feel like with my eyes, so they don't appear like they're drooping down, I will fling this out just a little bit so it makes like a little point going upwards. Upwards is always good for hooded eyes. These blend really good. I mean, I think that's one of the things I really loved about this palette is the way the shades blended, and I think that people had more trouble, or some people I think didn't like this palette and people really liked the In Bloom, but I felt like I had more trouble blending out the shades in the In Bloom palette. And you would think it would be like the same formula, but I don't think it was, because I think I had a harder time with some of the shades in there. They weren't as smooth feeling to the touch. They had a little bit more of a kind of crispy kind of feel. I don't know if that makes sense, but these ones are a lot smoother. Let's go ahead and do my brow bone. I'm going to go in with the shade Super Mom, which is this brightish, whitish cream shade in the lower corner. And I'm just going to brighten up, oops, my hair. That's lovely. And then for the sake to just use another one of these shades out of the palette, I think I'm going to go into this shade Caregiver, and it's a very light pink shade. I'm just going to kind of take this on the top and kind of just blend this up here so it's a little bit more seamless. And I know you probably can't really see that on camera, but it just kind of helps like maybe blend this out just a little bit. And then, so I'm going to keep this an all matte look. So I'm trying to decide what I want to go in with on the center of my lid. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do a darker shade or if I want to do light. Let's just keep it to what I used to do. I think I used to go in with a lighter shade on my lid so it would brighten. And that also helps with having hooded eyes, is to kind of open up your eye area so it looks bigger. So I think I'm going to actually go in... So I'm going to go in with this Linda Hallberg 305. I'm going to go in with Free Spirit right here, and then a touch of Nature. I'm going to combine both of those shades and put that on the lid so we can keep it, I'm going to keep it all matte. And then I'm just going to lighten up this look a little bit. I'm kind of noticing up here it's a little bit patchy. And I think that's actually might be from the primer. I don't actually feel like it's from the shadow because I think the shadows have always blended really nice. I mean, this palette is older, so maybe it's that, but I don't think so. I'm gonna say that it's from the concealer and the primer that I put on. I'm gonna go back in with my Pro Crease brush from Sephora and then just blend this in the crease so those shades kind of meld together. Just window washing the windshield wipers, wind wipe, what are those called? Oh my god, I can't even think. Windshield wipe. I'm going to just windshield wipe right in here to kind of get more seamless because that was looking a little bit muddy, I feel like. I think I'm actually going to go back in with my little e.l.f. brush I used for my brow bone, and I think I'm going to go back in with Supermom, which is the brightest cream pink shade, and I'm just going to kind of go back in the corner here and lighten this up just a little bit more. So now... what am I going to do? Now, I never really, when I use this palette, I never went in with a lower lash line shade. I never did that. I feel like that's kind of gotten more popular over the years, doing like a lot of lower lash line too, which is fun. I do really like doing that, but to keep my eyes lifted, I would always kind of bypass that step. For the sake of it showing up a little bit more on camera and to get a little more eye definition, I'm actually going to go in very lightly with... I think I'm going to go in very lightly with Power Player with this Coastal Scents number 11 brush. And I'm just going to take a little bit of Power Player and just very lightly go on my lower lash line. Just to get a little bit of definition on for the camera here. Just so you guys can, I don't know, kind of see it. What I also love about these shades too is there's not a lot of kick up, there's not a lot of fallout. They just, I feel like as soon as you touch it to your eye, they just blend out really nice. I'm not even sure if this palette's available still. I should look that up and find out. Okay, so what I would do then with this palette, I actually used to do upper liner, like winged liner. I've kind of stopped doing liner a lot on my upper lash line because it's getting harder for me to draw liner because I have some little wrinkles now that have started to come down here. And so before these were so low, I could just draw a line and wing it up real nice. But now I have to kind of like do some extra work to make it still look lifted. I should do a tutorial sometime on showing you guys how to do that with hooded eyes, especially when you're older and these wrinkles here, you know, if you have hooded eyes, start coming down. So you have to kind of be careful with your winged liner. So I'm just going to do a very little baby liner today because that's what I used to do with this look. It used to be really easy, but now it's a little bit more of a struggle bus. So... and I'm going to go in with the liner that I always used, and that was my NYX, I think I still have it, yes. I'm going to go in with my NYX liquid liner, and I used to love this liner right here because it has like a paintbrush tip, and I felt like it was very smooth and I could put it on so easily. I like it better than the felt tip pens because I feel like the felt tip type pens, like the Kat Von D, like this one right here, it's a good liner, but doesn't have the movement across your skin as easily as the paintbrush style, or for me at least. That's just kind of like my opinion. So I kind of wipe it off, but yeah, this is what the tip looks like. It's like a paintbrush style. So what I would used to do is I would literally start from the inner corner, draw all the way out, and then be able to wing this up. I can't do that anymore. So I'm going to start at the outer corner here, and I'm just gonna do like a very tiny wing that's just like not gonna touch much here, which actually I went a little further than I wanted. But I just want a little more definition on my upper lash line. And that's always what I would do for like a work look. So I would just do like a little bit, and it used to be able to draw straight out and I could wing it really easily, but now that I've got this little wrinkle here, it makes it a little more difficult. So I try to just fake it. It's just super smooth the way it glides on. And then I still need to touch it up a little bit. Okay, so I've cleaned up my eyes now, and I just went in with a little bit of a liner on top to kind of thicken my lash line, and now we can finish up the look. So I just gonna go in with lashes, and I already did liner. So the lashes I'm gonna go in with are these little ones, because I never wore like lashes when I would use this makeup palette, but I'm gonna go in with these little Ardell ones that are just kind of simple. I just want to put them on. Whoa, here we go. Focus camera. These are just little. They're just gonna kind of make me look like I actually have more lashes on camera than I do normally, because my lashes actually show up in real life, but on the camera they wash out a little bit. So I'm gonna go in with those lashes, and then I will be back so we can finish up the rest of the look. Guys, here I am back with lashes on and liner. I went in actually also with my e.l.f. little, this is just the little black gel liner that, if you focus camera, that e.l.f. has. It just comes in this little tiny thing, and it's like really black, and I love using that up underneath in my like tight line up here. I feel like it just helps make the, you know, it gets rid of that like skin color underneath there, so my lashes look a little more thick. So this is kind of the finished eye look, and I just went in with my Tarte mascara, which I love this one, and then I also went in with my little sample of this Black Magic EYEKO mascara, and I put that on my lower lash line. Okay, so for blush, I'm gonna keep with Tarte, and I'm gonna go in with the Tarte Color Wheel. This one is from, I believe, 2015. These are actually really good. I think a couple of them were not, people didn't like as much, but I really thought this one was good, and I still use it. It has lots of shades in it, so it has some like brighter pink shades up top, and then this is a highlight, and then, you know, it has some like cool tone and then warm tone brighter pink shades, peach colors, and then down below it has, this is another highlighter here, and then it has a couple more like plumish pink shade, a good range of blush, and it's their Amazonian clay blush shades, and I really have liked them. They just, those blushes stay on really good, and they're just really good quality normally, and they're still working fine for me, so I'm still continuing to use it even though I know it's more than a year old. So I'm gonna go in with a combination of Ironic, this lower shade, and then also Icon, which is this shade right there, and I'm just gonna kind of just blend those two together and do kind of a mix. And these are really pigmented, so I just always make sure that I, you know, tap off my brush really good. This is a MAC 129, one of my favorite blush brushes ever, but I don't believe that they make this brush anymore. So if you have it, that's awesome. Looks like my camera battery's gonna die, so maybe I can make it through this video before. So I don't like the highlights in that little color wheel, so I'm gonna go in with a combination of the Anastasia Sugar Glow Kit. That's this kit right here, and these are the shades. Those Anastasia highlighters, let me tell you, they're super nice. All right, so I'm gonna go in with a Linda Hallberg. This is a 306, and I'm gonna do a combination of, let's see here. I don't wanna do a lot of highlight because I have mostly like just a matte look here, but I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Gumdrop, which has got a kind of duochromish pink gold, and then Butterscotch down here in the lower corner. So I'm just gonna mix those two together and then tap it off, and then just put on just a touch of highlight because I don't want to go overboard with highlight on this particular look. And I wasn't really using highlight back then when I was using this palette, or the Tarte palette. And then for lips, I'm gonna go in with this little cheapy, this is a Rimmel London brush. This is in the shade Wild Clover, and it is just a nice kind of pink shade, just kind of a neutral pink shade. I'm just gonna go in lightly and line my lips here, and then go in with a gloss today. I want the liner to not be super like dark, so I'm kind of tapping it out with my finger a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with my little sample size of my Divine Rose, the Pat McGrath. I got this in that $25 kit, and it's just one of the Pat McGrath Lust glosses, and this one, yeah, in Divine Rose. And I'm just going to go over the top with that. These glosses are so nice. It's coming off a little pinker on camera than I want it to, so I think I'm going to darken it up a little bit with this lip liner here. It's a MAC lip liner in the shade Plum, and it's just got kind of a little bit more of a purple tone. I should have went with Plum in the beginning. Like, this is more of like a cool tone shade, so I think it goes better with the cool tone look. I think that other pink liner is a little bit more on the neutral warm side. All right, you guys, so this is my finished look, my finished blast from the past look using the Tartelette original palette, which, I mean, if you look at it, look how beat up this thing is. I mean, I really did use this thing a lot. It still works pretty good. I mean, the only reason it didn't really blend out in some areas was because I didn't really set the concealer first, so that was my own fault. But I've always loved that cool tone look that palette creates for my skin tone, so it was always a go-to for me, and pretty much my only go-to at the time before I started doing a lot more with makeup. Use that old makeup up, you know, you don't always need to buy new palettes. So, you guys, that is it. Thank you so much for stopping by. Do not forget to subscribe and leave a comment. You guys know how much I love comments down below. I will respond to you if you leave me a comment down there. Let me know what you'd like to see. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you have the Tartelette palette, and blah, 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 all that jazz. So anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Cause my program's official, Coach style with the whistle.